Hi. I'm Claude Austin. I'm the founder of SpectralBot and managing director. Our application, we're building an application which we like to call instant troubleshooting application or instant troubleshooting tool. The idea is that we can very quickly find issues in an AV network, and also just not saying there is a problem, but also actually helping fixing the problem. That's where what we try to do. Our application is based on several core principles. The first one being we have to be vendor independent. So, for instance, if you look at projectors, we support Epson, Panasonic, Barco, whatever, doesn't matter for us. If you look at control system, we do support Crestron, ISE, and Extron, Biamp. We are not tied to any vendor. But what is also very important is that we are also signal-agnostic, which means that we're not just looking if a device is online or not on a network, but we're also looking at all the video signals, audio signals, lighting, and even power. If you have like a good power distribution system. For instance, if your LCD screen is not working, it could be that it's because it doesn't receive a signal, or maybe it's just like an input setting that's wrong, or it could just not be powered on. So we can make that distinction between all those different scenarios in a sense. Our solution comes in two ways. First of all, we have a mobile application which is used for on-site usage. So that means that the end user can use the app to figure out what's going on, and they also have the campus application that we go into a little bit more detail in a minute, which is more like for centralized troubleshooting and management of the system. Okay, so let's start with the mobile application. I have here a simple. We have here a setup of several AV equipment. Actually, we have like two setups: the left side and the right side. I'll go with the left side to start with. So I have a simple setup with Apple TV, encoders, decoders, going to a BrightSign, which is there behind the screen, and that then actually goes to the screen itself. Now, if I launch the app and I scan this QR code, the QR code actually identifies the whole system. So by scanning the QR code, the app knows what room I am in and what devices are in this room at this moment.
So typically be on the rack, the QR code?
Rack or on the door somewhere, when you enter the room, there will be like a QR code and you can just scan that one and you have access to the whole system. So I scan the QR code, and you'll see by the time that green line is fully filled up, the app already has identified, of course, the system, but also has already talked to all the devices as well. So it did like a first scan of what's going on with your system. And then if I open up this view, you can see all the devices that are in this setup. So you have here at the top Apple TV, an encoder, the Netgear switch, a decoder, you have the BrightSign and the Panasonic screen there as well. You can click on a device to get more information. So this is the encoder. You see input resolution, output resolution, all the information that you need to do troubleshooting. And you also can I'll open up the ports, and you will see that we're not only looking at LAN connections, but also looking at HDMI connections. So in this case, we actually can see if there's a video going or not. Now let's do a little sabotage. We pull out a cable, and you will see that in a few seconds time, the line turns orange, indicating you exactly what the problem is. So you see that HDMI is being sent from the Spectre TV, but there's nothing receiving on the encoder, so that's where the problem is. If some people would call you saying, we don't see anything on the screen, nothing happens on the screen, and you open this view, you actually can see, oh, this is probably where my problem is. Now, how do I solve it? Two ways, or actually three ways. The first solution is like looking at the screen, but then you need to understand what you're looking at and how to interpret that information. Second step is our AI assistant. So you can ask AI assistant to make a diagnostics of this, and it will also propose you a solution. So a step-by-step solution. So this is actually the whole diagnostic. So it actually sees all the issues that are in your network, because you see that the whole the orange line is going all the way down. Because there's no source coming in the encoder, there's nothing going to the decoder as well. So you have it's logical, but for the technicians that's very understandable. But then you have like a step-by-step solution that it will propose. In that solution itself, actually, it does not only tell you what the by reasoning, it doesn't only tell you what exactly the problem is, but also will refer to manuals. So it uses the manual of the devices to make a troubleshooting for you. So it's actually very hands-on. Also important to know, I am now a technician in this case. The application adapts to the user. So if I would be like a Hausmeister, the janitor, let's say, the language here would adapt to the user. It will be simplified, more like for somebody who don't know anything about AV. So this is the first, actually it's the second stage of support. So first looking at the UI, looking at the lines. Second stage is the AI interface. So let me now say, okay, it didn't save my problem, didn't solve my problem. I can create a support request. If I create I'm an end user. I'm like in the university. I'm maybe a lecturer or a professor. What I will enter here, say, I don't see anything. My screen is black. Projector doesn't work. And I will send a ticket to you, but for you that doesn't make sense. Then say, okay, yeah, but I don't know anything about that. So I will make now a ticket that will come back in a minute. Okay. So I have created a ticket. It's been sent over to our system. I'll come back to that in a minute. But the big thing is that when you create a ticket, we're not just sending that information with it. We're also sending a snapshot of all that with it. So the technician receives a ticket saying my projector doesn't work or my screen doesn't work, but you get this as well as a technician. So let me show you. We're going to the computer now. I'm going to go to the backend. Oh. Close this one first. This is the one that I just created, Test Uni. I can click on this. And as I mentioned, we have a snapshot, so I can see here. This is not a live connection, it's like really a snapshot. This is what happened the moment the ticket was created. So even if it's like an hour later, I would still see this situation. So which is very handy for me, and actually I can do the same thing. I can open these ports, look at the line, say, oh, HDMI is sending out, not receiving here, click on this, no input signal detected, so I have all that information here at hand. Maybe I understand what's going on, but the person on site does not really understand what the HDMI cable is, so I still really have to have some hand holding, but I don't want to drive to, I don't know, Oslo or Trondheim or whatever. I want to do this remotely, so I'm going to call the guy. So I say, okay, you know what, I'm going to call the guy, I'm going to help him on site, set up a call. Now I'm calling, and the call will, hopefully, normally, go there. Did I do something wrong? I don't think so. Yeah, I understand why it's not coming up now. Let me just try again. I was here before I actually started, so. Okay, scan the code. Hopefully it's come in now. Yeah, there it is. Okay. So I have my call. Now if I just have to do this. If I open the call, this is what you see. So this is actually, you're seeing the screen which is there as well. So you actually see the same thing. And so I can actually see exactly the same thing what's happening here. So if I move this, you would see move, click on here. So this would be your view remotely. You would follow along remotely. Now the cool thing here is that, okay, I can follow this, I can see what's going on with what's going on site. But I can also switch to a camera view, and then I can have augmented reality showing more information. So I'm going to go over here for a minute. So the switch, for instance, I have here the switch and I see how everything is connected, but I don't know actually where those cables go to. Now if I go to the augmented reality, I see the same switch, I see the ports, and I can actually go now for each port, look exactly what is connected to that port, how many packets are dropped or so. If even the PoE, like in this case, this is a decoder, it's connected to PoE, I have 4.0 watts being drawn on that port at this moment. So I have all that information available in real time for me. So it's really handy if you're doing support at that moment. So up till now, I have been on site. Yes, I'm very happy and it's solved. I have been on site. I have a teacher doing this for me. I am remote, but I can imagine you don't want to walk around all the time with an iPad. It would be good for your physique, but it's tiring, especially like a 6-hour drive. It can be very tiring. So you want to do this like centralized from one location. You want to do like, you want to see all the lecture rooms, you want to see all the campuses, and that's why we developed the campus application. So I'll stop the call here, end call. Okay, and the campus application is actually the same thing as what we have there, but now in a PC version of it. And from here you can go to all the systems that you have access to. So if I go to systems, for instance, I have here all the systems that I have access to. These are all remote, of course, so I can't really connect from here. But I could actually go to I go to the France one. This is the system in France, but it's not really here. But I can see this is what the France connection would look like. If I go to the system over here, which is ISE campus, this is the system that's here on the table, and you can see actually the same thing happening. This will come in, it takes a while before the BrightSign pops up, but actually this is the problem that we had, so I can see the same problem here. And again, I can do the same thing. I can click on a device, see all the settings. I can actually say from here, access the documentation and access the web UI. So I can actually access the web UI of this decoder remotely. Because I can do the configuration as well at that moment.
Tunnel into the network?
Yes, yeah, yes, exactly.
What if the HDMI cable